AfterBuzz TV Network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
Hello, everyone. Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show right here, right now on AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, and we are doing SmackDown.
Yeah, we are.
Tonight. Joining me is Ryan Cookie Clum.
Yeah. Back where I started on SmackDown.
Stickin'. I know.
Yeah.
This is where you started.
It is. I haven't been back in a while.
Bringing it back. And Christian Rosenberg. I don't have a good nickname for you.
I'm not worthy of a nickname.
What should I name you?
Oh God, if we're thinking
Bear Claw.
Why not?
Christian Bear Claw.
Christian the Bear Claw Rosenberg.
Or he's from Massachusetts. Boston Cream.
The Boston cream pie. The Boston cream pie. Christian
That
Rosenberg.
works too. That works. So we are doing SmackDown for the night of March 29th. 2013. Today is Easter, so happy Easter to everyone.
Yeah.
And then we also have a very special guest joining us tonight.
Who's our special guest, Cathy? Yeah.
My mom making her entrance into SmackDown After Show.
Oh, there she is.
Oh my God.
The 24-inch python's out, brother.
I'm intimidated.
I am preparing myself to be thoroughly embarrassed tonight as we have a special segment at the end, Ask the Mom.
Yeah. Of course, the old person on the chat roll is Cathy, so she's going to be able to filter. She's going to be able to filter the actual questions.
I can filter any of the questions that you send in, so nothing.
How did that happen?
Hold on.
There's a flaw there.
If you follow Ryan O'Reilly on Twitter, direct message us so then we can get them from here.
Or just, hit me on Twitter and with questions.
Got a few Twitter comments already about what to ask my mom. They were wondering, I think the first one was how I ended up hosting shows with hooligans like you.
Oh, I did see that one.
It's a good question.
Wasn't there something about throwing chairs?
Yes.
When you started throwing chairs.
Have I started throwing chairs yet? Do you want to answer that right now?
Not yet.
You'll save it? You'll let people wonder? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, let's start things off tonight, jumping right into SmackDown. It started off with an opening video package previewing Rock on SmackDown, Swagger versus Del Rio, and the Sheamus, Orton, and Big Show having issues. And are they ready to take down the Shield at WrestleMania? What do you guys think?
They are. Yes.
The Celtic Vipers.
I don't know if they can unite in time.
Yeah.
They've had their issues.
I know. We'll get into that and my issues with that.
I've really been going back and forth with that one. So that's one of the matches, as far as Mania goes, where I flip-flop the most, probably, as far as
of who's going to win?
Yeah.
Oh, you kill the Shield if they lose. You kill them. They're dead. They're done.
Why?
They're done. They're no longer. I think they're. We'll get into it. It's later on. It's later on. We got to talk about The Rock,
So I think SmackDown's actually been doing better than Raw at like promoing WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean,
this is the first SmackDown I've seen in several weeks.
Well, Christian, you've seen SmackDown, right?
I want to, and you're talking about in regards as far as like building up the matches, you mean?
Building up the matches, and I think it's actually been a better quality show. I mean, people always say that SmackDown's like the B show, the
usually,
second to.
It's known for sometimes being better wrestling on SmackDown.
A lot of times it was that. I mean, personally, this week I would put Raw over SmackDown.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, me too. Big time.
I feel like we've had a couple.
Crap.
I
thought this week was kind of crap.
Well, tell us your real opinion.
It was okay.
I feel like the Raws the past couple weeks have been lackluster.
There was one match in the first hour. We had, what, 5 minutes of wrestling in the first hour of this program.
Okay.
It's a wrestling show.
Okay.
Got 5 minutes wrestling in an hour.
Well.
Right there's a problem. So,
Kathy, your mom's here today. We're
that's just my personal problem.
To the test today.
I know.
Yeah.
And my mom, unfortunately, don't crucify her. Weird reference from
Are you
today.
saying that?
Oh, yeah, that is.
Easter.
No, she doesn't watch wrestling.
Okay.
She's watched a few things.
That's
but
okay.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can be old and still learn a few things.
Absolutely. There's nothing
What do
wrong
you
with
think
that
of
at
your
all.
daughter becoming such a big wrestling fan here?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But what I'd really like to know is what my nickname is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
I said it should be Miss Elizabeth II because her name's Elizabeth.
But isn't all your nicknames pastry?
I'd like to be a pastry
Yeah.
you
personally.
want to be a pastry?
Yeah, she wants to be pastry.
We'll think about it and I'll get back to you.
How about
Okay.
Later in the
angel food
broadcast.
cake?
Angel food cake?
Oh,
No.
is that-
Elizabeth, what is it? The eclair?
Devil's
is that
food
what they're
cake.
Oh.
Hey, takes one to know
Maybe
one.
that's you. Maybe you're the devil's food cake.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this.
So we started off with Rock making his entrance. The crowd was really amped up, kind of because it's
In the
close to
beginning.
his hometown.
Yeah.
In the beginning. You don't
don't-
think they were the entire time he was out?
No, I think they got quiet.
When?
It's
They were
not like
screaming for everything.
Really?
Yeah.
they would get quiet while he was talking. It's not like the back in the day though when he would everyone would be hanging on every word. Not that it was terrible, but I don't.
But here's the one tricky thing, because with SmackDown, as you
Yeah.
know as well, how SmackDown's taped.
Right.
So a lot of times they will dub sounds from the crowd on the shows.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Add,
they'll
add more
pipe in.
applause or add more booze, depending on what it is. To provide for the person at home to help add
Like a
the illusion.
sitcom.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a laugh track or anything like that. They don't completely drain it out because obviously, most of it is there. But if
Yeah.
for some reason they wanted a bigger pop than they actually got from the crowd, then they might filter a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a pretty big pop just because, The Rock didn't even talk. He just held up a Hershey's bar and
Right.
they were like
Oh yeah.
screaming.
Hershey bar.
That was big, and of course it's the cheap pop of their hometown. And it's funny as I was just watching the Raw 100 moments on
Yeah.
Netflix, and there was a thing with Rock making fun of people, when they pop for their hometown.
Yeah.
That was one of the moments of him doing it to
and
Toronto.
one thing though with the entrance, because I know you and I have both on our respective programs have complained on the fact that it seems the WWE title does not seem
Yes.
worth anything in this match.
Well, it's not the main focus. It's
Right,
not
right.
It's not necessary in this.
But
in this time.
when you watched him walk out, he held the title like he was holding it at the very end of it and walking it on his side, and literally part of the title is dragging on the floor.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, and when we'll talk later, but when he hit John Laurinaitis with the elbow, he actually bumped on the title.
Yes.
I did see
So
that.
yeah, I actually was reading something about how people hold the title, and I actually agree with it. When Ric Flair used to hold it, it was always folded up, like under the crook of his arm. It was either around his waist
He
or
protects
held
it.
Or like on the shoulder.
He never.
Well,
really,
Flair didn't.
Flair
Flair
didn't hold
but-
it. It wasn't on Flair's shoulder really ever, if I remember. Maybe he did at some point, but it was always like under his arm.
Well, that
basically.
could be kind of smelly, actually.
But it's showing respect.
Yeah.
For the title.
Is, the title like the flag where it shouldn't
Yes.
touch the ground?
Or an armpit.
The champion should feel that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. The champion
Yeah.
should treat it like it's the Holy Grail.
Right.
And do you think that most of the superstars do that? Just The Rock is disrespecting
Well,
it?
I mean,
No,
this might have just been a coincidence that we saw, that it happened.
I mean, we said in the past
I don't
few
think
weeks.
it's just The Rock. It's more now. I mean, it's a different era. I mean, you have people walking around with titles around their necks now, and trying to come up with their way of holding the title. So I'm very old school, and so I believe in it should be treated with respect. But
Yeah. So The Rock kept on talking, and he talked about himself at 15.
Mm-hmm.
They show up a picture of him at 15, and he does not look like a 15-year-old.
no, he doesn't.
No, he did not. I didn't look like that at age 15, that's for sure.
No.
didn't he say he was like 6'4", 6'5", and 220 pounds?
Sometimes you'd see those kids, like, you know, I remember this kid came in on track once. He was a shot putter, and he had a receding hairline and a big full beard, and that dude's 18 or 17. Are you kidding me? But yeah.
I don't even know what he looked like. I mean, he had hair, which was a huge difference, but other than that.
He also had white shorts.
He had the white shorts. He had the white shorts that he liked to make fun of himself about. And someone in the production truck decided to keep it on the screen. He's like, come on, seriously, take it off.
Not really happy about that. Yeah. So as we all know, Rock grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is an hour outside of Hershey. And he went on to talk a lot about Hershey and how he would go on a long search for a Hershey whatchamacallit.
Whatchamacallit.
Let's go to Hershey Park.
Which is weird that you couldn't find a whatchamacallit at Hershey Park.
Yeah.
But he equated this to going a long way to beat John Cena, which didn't really make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense. It's just a way for him to tell a story, and it's not bad. It's not terrible. I mean, some people like it, but that's where, like, I don't think the people were kind of bored with that. This is the part where they were kind of quiet. To me, they were listening to him, but there wasn't a buzz like back in the day. You know, the Attitude Era. Just every little thing, people would just hang on the edge of their seat because it would be, you know, new and fresh, and you were gonna wait. What's The Rock gonna say this week?
It's because every time
it's not like that. It's predictable now. It's little cute stories, and it's fine. It's definitely the PG Rock. There's no doubt about that.
And every time we get story time with The Rock, it's a lot of the same stuff over and over again. Which I still think he's amazing on the mic. But
absolutely, he could read the phone book.
Without a doubt.
I mean, it'd be interesting. He really could. But it's just the content. I'm not a big proponent of.
Yeah. So John Laurinaitis comes out and interrupts story time with The Rock.
Johnny!
Former GM of SmackDown and Raw.
What was the point of this? I liked it, but what was the point of it?
I have no idea.
Like John Laurinaitis just shows back up for no apparent reason.
On the SmackDown a week before Mania.
And they do that sometimes, and it's always fun to have those little things. But
I thought he did
still
for Laurinaitis though. I thought he did well.
I love Laurinaitis.
I thought he did very well.
I didn't think they should have pulled him off the show when they did. Like I didn't think that character was done at all.
Yeah.
So I thought he should probably still be the authority figure. He was so annoying. Oh yeah, I love John Laurinaitis.
I mean, he's definitely annoying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought he was a great heel authority figure, and I didn't think that storyline had run its course when they pulled him off.
Yeah. So we go to commercial break, come back with the crowd chanting "You suck."
Oh yeah, but commercial break in the middle of a promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no.
It didn't work out.
Yeah, because he comes, his music hits, and we go to promo. We come back, and John Laurinaitis is in the ring.
And you're so pumped for it, and then like that's.
It's like, what's gonna happen? Oh.
Yeah.
Commercial.
Yeah.
Maybe honestly though, they want you to come back after commercial, so I kind of understand the reasoning behind it. It just kind of. I don't know.
It kills the move.
For entrance, and for that being the fact that this is the first time he's been on TV in what, 8 months?
Yeah.
8 months, and like all of a sudden here he is, commercial. This is like, whoa, no, you know, it's one thing because there used to be
20-minute promos.
There used to be the classic thing of someone made their shocking return at like the very end of a show, and that's like a cliffhanger. It's just like, oh my god, why is this guy here? Now we got to tune in next week.
But this is a one-off. I feel he won't be back next week. Like we're not going to see Johnny Ace again. I don't think for a while. Yeah, I mean you never know, but it didn't feel like this was a return. This was a cameo. And
the fact that he was brought back by Teddy Long, who was the guy that he had the giant feud with. Which it was kind of the surprise.
And what was the Booker T Teddy Long relationship? It's so weird.
We'll get to that later with the.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's later on where that happens. Yeah. Okay. I tell you, player, I'm gonna take this one.
Let Cathy holler at us for a minute.
Yeah. So he says that everyone thinks I'm going to come out here to talk too long and end up getting rock bottomed, which is just kind of foreshadowing a little bit.
Rock already talked too long, so.
And Laurinaitis wants to team up with The Rock and asks the fans if that's what they want. And of course they say
shockingly, they said no.
I wonder why.
I said yes.
You said yes?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Come on.
Bring back the corporate champ.
I love Johnny Ace.
Bring back the corporate champ.
Ace Crusher. Hit him with the Ace Crusher. Take him out. The Ace, you don't know what the Ace Crusher is. The Ace Crusher was
Isn't
Johnny.
that his move?
It was Johnny Ace's move, but who else used? What kind of move is it?
It's the one that you do on other people.
Okay,
Yes.
If she actually answered that, I would have been so impressed. It's it's a cutter. It's similar to Stone Cold Steve Austin's move. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, similar to Randy Orton's move.
Yeah, similar to the RKO.
Yeah.
Very similar to the RKO.
So Rock ends up attacking Johnny Laurinaitis and hitting him with the people's elbow.
Yes, spine buster.
Well, spine
on the
buster.
people's spine on the
And then
pine.
People's elbow.
Oh, and while he's running back and forth, JBL is talking about Reese's peanut butter. Like, it was all candy this entire
Yeah.
segment.
I didn't really get that.
Cole is laughing while The Rock is running across the ropes.
He's like, and Rock was like, "What do you think of this nasty ass peanut butter teaming up with my silky dark chocolate?"
Yeah, it was a weird promo.
lot of chocolate
I
references
wasn't
in
a
her
huge
sheet.
fan of it.
Yeah.
But, I would say on the positive, all those people who paid a ticket to go to SmackDown got to see The Rock. So they were all stoked. So every person in the arena went home happy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he planned it out so he would come back while they were in Pennsylvania. Don't you think?
I mean, you never know with his schedule. I mean, I don't think it's planned out that strategically.
I'm sure he has some say at the shows that he comes back to.
Right, but I mean, he's doing promotion. Don't forget his movie opened up
he has
Friday.
4 movies. My mom and I saw
And he has-
G.I. Joe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Which
My
rating,
mom did
thumbs
not
up,
like
thumbs
it.
down?
As adults say, it was interesting.
Okay. It's getting terrible reviews, but great exit polls. Like the fan reaction that I
liked
heard is
it.
an A-, and the
Marissa in the
it's
back-
like 29% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
something like that.
Marissa liked it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it. So
Yeah. I mean, I thought that it was very action-packed. He did a good job. It was just, there's a problem with a movie if it takes a few years to get released.
yeah.
There's something that they're trying to figure
No
out.
Sergeant Slaughter cameo, right? See, that's
Then
what
I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, someone dropped the ball then if that happened, because I was saying that when they went first one. I'm like, how you gotta
have Sergeant
how can
Slaughter
you,
in the G.I.
if
Joe
The Rock
movie.
is in it, you gotta get Sergeant Slaughter just to do one Yo-Joe or something. He's
Just
like
a cameo. He's on for 30 seconds. That's fine.
somebody screwed up.
Adrienne Palicki is amazing. Like, she's gorgeous in it. So
Is that
if you're
Lady
a guy,
J?
that's enough to...
Is that Lady J?
Lady J, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's enough to see it.
Yeah.
So let's get into Jericho versus Wade
Oh,
Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
This week came out with the jacket. Last week he came out with the T-shirt. The previous week he didn't have anything.
I don't like that jacket thing.
Like, he keeps flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
He has to pick something.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett is trying to figure out who he is. I like Wade Barrett a lot
I love
too.
Wade
but
Barrett.
I feel like
love
he's
him.
getting lost in the shuffle,
He
though.
is a
I
little
mean,
bit.
that feud with
Champion.
Bo Dallas, and then but still,
Yeah, I know, he's a champion that's
regardless
lost in the
whether he
shuffle.
has the
Him and
title or not.
Cesaro
Both of them.
are in the same spot right now. You know, it's weird. I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't like the way either of them are being treated by the writing staff.
So we have Jericho's entrance and then go straight to commercial. When we get back from commercial, they talk about last week where Fandango assaulted Jericho.
Is that how you pronounce his name?
Go.
That's better.
And they talk about WrestleMania 29 with Jericho versus Fandango.
There you go.
I'm whispering it. I should really say it with more authority, but I'll
confidence.
mispronounce it
More
anyways.
confidence.
Maybe if I whisper it, then no one will catch on. So Miz also joins announcers, which I actually really liked him at that table. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, I liked him there. I thought he
was
provided
weird with
stuff.
4
I just
people
don't
there.
like. Yeah, exactly. I just don't like 4 people on commentary.
Yeah.
I don't like the 3-man
I don't-
team.
yeah,
I'm not
I'm not-
I'm not a big fan of the 3-man team.
You and I are in agreement.
Pull Michael Cole out of there. That should be Josh and JBL. JBL actually should be
Yes.
on Raw, and there should be another person. Just stick Jerry Lawler back on SmackDown. I think is. I don't enjoy Jerry like I used to.
JBL's the best commentator
Absolutely.
on their roster.
Was it-
100%.
Was it you or Josh the other week that said they need a heel commentator?
It was Josh. I
Yeah,
remember watching,
that-
I remember watching
Yeah,
at
somebody-
home
it wasn't
and
me.
just applauding. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think it was
yes,
Josh,
we
yeah.
do
Everyone
that.
agreed with him about that.
Yeah. They need a heel commentator.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Just throwing that out there.
Why not?
So, pretty good match overall. I don't know. I feel like they've had the Jericho versus Barrett thing the past few weeks, though, and I don't know. I feel like it's losing.
This was one of those.
Steam.
This was one of those few instances where I didn't mind the champion losing because it had to do with the Miz and pushing that, but
it was well done too. The finish was good. The finish was actually really good on this, and it made sense. I agree. I didn't have a problem with that either.
I loved when it went outside the ring, and I mean, Miz was
the distraction, and he, they got
Barrett in control, came in for the code breaker,
and Barrett completely knowing what the count was, but had to rush back in because he went back at 8 or 9, so he's sliding back in and walks right into the code breaker. I liked the finish. So.
And I loved how Jericho completely capitalized on that. It was
the match was okay. I mean, they only had a few minutes, so it was really the finish was the best part of the match.
After the match, Jericho says Fandango is about to come out. I thought it was weird that he was calling it out. He was like, "Oh well, Fandango's."
Well, we see the curtains
we see the and so we know he's about to come out. That was very weird for me.
It was, but Jericho.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
Jericho's so good. Jericho's brilliant on the mic.
He's always good.
He's the best.
Never has an off day.
I think. I think The Rock back in the day was the best. I think Jericho's better than The Rock now. On the mic, I'd take Jericho over The Rock
right now.
And
I think Jericho's still. I think Jericho's still creative on The Rock, and I think The Rock is kind of living on past laurels with the way he cuts promos.
I still put Punk #1.
Punk number 1 overall. Yeah. But Jericho's still right up there. Jericho really hasn't dropped off much. He's still fresh.
And to see how passionate he is about the product, that really conveys. While he's there. So
well, it's I guess it's just great the way he can go out, do his own projects, come back for a few months, and it keeps him fresh, and it keeps him, a great guy in there to teach the young wrestlers, young superstars.
And he's teaching Fandango a thing or two about his name. How to pronounce his name?
Yeah, that was funny.
It's always funny when he does things like this.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the Funaki reference that he put in there.
I like the Queen reference.
I like the Queen reference. That was my favorite one. Yeah, that one was the best. The Funaki was good as well.
so well with his personality, like the rock star thing. I loved it.
Yeah.
Fan Dingbat. That just, I mean,
I'd love to see.
I
would love to see the script and what was written and what he said. Like how much of that was just riffed, how much of that was bullet pointed. I'd love to see what he's doing now. I would think a lot of that was riffed off the top of his head. Yeah. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah,
I'm sure he planned the Queen one though.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you never know with these things.
It was
some of the best catchphrases just came out of nowhere. I think most of the great ones came out of nowhere. Just came out of an improv.
So Fandango makes his way to the ring. Or kind of to the ring, stops a little bit short.
Dances down.
And
was this the same girl that was on Raw?
It looked very similar.
I think it was.
Because they were in Philly before. Yeah. So I wonder if she's just the local girl or if they'll keep her, because I actually really liked her.
She was one of the better dancers that he's had accompanying him.
Did you catch the wink?
I saw just the facial expression. She just kind of had this smug look to her.
She was amazing with him. Yeah, she was almost like she was heelish.
Yeah.
She was there was heelish, and at the end, I mean, when he's backing up, she winked at Jericho. I don't know if you caught that. I rewound again. She threw a little wink in, and I was like, oh,
she's got some personality.
That's good. Yeah. And then so you can have her. She doesn't even have to say a word, but you can have her start healing and doing dirty stuff on the outside. Yeah, use that girl. If she is just the local,
with her dancing,
use her again. There was something about that girl. She should be brought back. I don't know if that's the plan. I don't know if she was just the local girl they grabbed, or if they're planning to use her regularly, but use her regularly.
Buy her a ticket to New York right now. So crowd's chanting, "You can't wrestle," and of course he doesn't wrestle.
Nope.
He leaves.
I like the fact that the fans have gotten so angry at the fact that he hasn't wrestled yet that they think that he cannot wrestle.
Yeah.
Did you see him last week on SmackDown though?
When he attacked him and did the Alabama Jam off the top rope?
Yeah.
Loved it.
Obviously, he's got some
SmackDown
moves.
Or on Raw, right?
Both. He did both.
Did he do it on SmackDown too? I didn't see SmackDown last week.
The beautiful Bobby Eaton Alabama Jam, top rope leg drop. Which, I think you mentioned the other day, bad idea to do for every day.
Yeah,
but it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks great.
I think they've built him up really well for WrestleMania.
I hated the idea first, and now I'm hooked.
Well,
I'm completely hooked on it.
I still don't like the first promos they did where he was just doing the "Say My Name," but since like the last couple shows have been really, really good. I like it. I love the whole entrance. I love the entrance was great today. I think he's getting better and better with that.
Yeah.
This was the best I've seen them do with Fandango. Last on Raw was great, and this was even better than Raw, I thought.
He almost looked like he could dance today.
And I think that and the girl added something to him as well. I think they're good together. I think, like I said, let's see her again.
It's kind of like the pros on Dancing with the Stars and the celebrities, where if you have a really good pro, then the celebrity looks a little bit better.
Yeah. And well, think about it. He's got that really long entrance that he'll have to do for WrestleMania, so he better do something.
Yeah. Think he's saving it?
I hope.
There's going to be some, and I'm going to be interested to see some of the ones we talked about on Monday, but the Shields, I'm interested to see how the Shields entrance is going to be.
How they're able to walk through the crowd in a huge stadium.
I saw someone, I think they sent it to us on Twitter, but or somewhere about maybe them coming out in Jeeps or something. That could be cool, too.
Didn't you say them, like, get me
We said helicopters. We were talking about helicopters.
That would be,
cool.
That would be the most badass thing.
It'll never happen, but it would be amazing. The insurance on that number one would be crazy. Two, with the Owen Hart thing, they'll never do something like that. You can't fly Blackhawks over an arena of people, and it's, it's way too much could happen. But it would be amazing.
They could figure something out.
Yeah.
Like
jetpacking. That would be awesome. They've done that in like the Super Bowl. People would jetpack in. Remember those?
They have like a fake helicopter though. That I mean, WWE doesn't, but I know that they've done it for like plays like Miss Saigon and I don't know.
Yeah, on a stage and in an open air arena or two.
They could figure
completely
something.
separate things.
I'm sure they got something creative.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Yeah, they actually rehearsed the entrances in WrestleMania. There was like the entrances are a big deal at WrestleMania.
When do they start rehearsing?
Probably that week.
A few days before.
Yeah, I mean they're building everything I think right now, and I think the day of or day before.
Yeah, because
they do a lot of rehearsals.
After Raw, it's nothing but media and like special events like up to it. So I'm sure there's some times in some of those days that they plan things out.
Yeah. So after Fandango leaves, we get a preview of Triple H versus Lesnar at WrestleMania with the no holds barred match. And we also get an interview with Paul Heyman. And he basically says that Brock is going to crush Triple H. And we get him saying that Triple H is going to end up resenting all of the WWE locker room, which I love this interview.
I think
you didn't like it?
This Paul Heyman promo, I think, was my favorite part of SmackDown.
I love
the entire episode.
What are you going to say?
We talked about this earlier.
But no, go for it. Go.
I like it and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I love Paul Heyman and my issue is never with the talent. It's always with the writing staff and the way they think on storyline. Here's my issue with this is I think they tried to do a little bit of what's like retcon, retroactive continuity with Monday saying it's the, it's his career, and people went, oh, well, who cares, big deal, and they went, okay, well, they came up with this whole, well, he's going to resent it as a COO. It's very weak to me. Every single athlete comes to a point where they have to retire. Triple H is at that age, and so everyone deals with this. This is just something there's other guys in the WWE that are dealing with the same thing right now, that their careers are going to be ending, and that, oh, poor Triple H is going to have to, in his multi-million-dollar jets he's going to be flying around in and sitting in his office, is going to be stewing that he can't be doing it. He's way better off than what a lot of those guys are going to be doing in security guard jobs and trying to make a buck. It didn't hold water to me. At all. That it felt like the writing staff trying to cover holes, and those are holes that I can continually poke holes back in. The stakes aren't high enough for me.
I liked it. I felt like it was something that we haven't heard Heyman say before, and so
I have no problem with Heyman on it. He took the angle like the way he phrased it, the way he made it work. He made it work. I don't know that he made it work. He did the best that he could. He took chicken crap and made chicken salad out of it.
I get what you're saying about it, and I agree with what you're saying about it. The one thing though is Heyman is making reference for, because like there's always those crop of guys who don't retire when they should.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's just saying
Could
like out of
be
the
that,
open that Triple H is going to be like that guy, and all of a sudden this will prevent him from being able to do anything about it.
I get that. I think my problem is that the stipulation was built up so much that this isn't big enough for me for the build-up of how they had him by the balls, right? Literally. We can do any stipulation you want because you want to sign this contract so bad. They could have come up with so much worse than what they did to him. To me, it's just not big enough for where they could have storyline-wise.
I was hoping for a tuxedo match.
I don't even think tuxedo match, you can never be involved in wrestling again. That's way harder. Wouldn't that be way worse than, well, you can't wrestle, but you get to have your nice cushy job?
Because we know that even if Triple H loses, he's still going to find a way to come back at some point.
Yeah, we know that, but still, it still needs to, there's not enough on the line for me for the way they built it up.
Okay. Well, Heyman goes on to say that the two worst decisions that Triple H ever made in his life, one being Triple H thought he could compete with me intellectually, and two, Triple H thought he could compete with my client, Brock Lesnar.
Not a good idea.
No, definitely not a good idea.
Brock Lesnar's mean.
Brock Lesnar's scary.
He is scary.
Yeah, he's
I
a
am
frightening
scared of
human
him.
being.
I mean, anyone who intentionally splits their head open for a good show.
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
I am expecting blood in their match.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm expecting blood too. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this match. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this.
I'm curious to see how violent they will get in this match.
I wonder if they're going to go for the best match I've seen Brock. I loved when Brock came back in the Brock Cena match. Did you see that one?
Yes, I did.
Like, I kind of get the feeling that's kind of the angle they're going with that, probably. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that in years, and that was a great match. So it was more of an MMA style, very, very bloody. It almost looked like a real fight. So I think that's what they're looking to do.
So you think, are we calling it bloodiest match of WrestleMania 29?
Oh yeah, probably only match of blood in of WrestleMania.
It's the only one that has a no disqualification stipulation, right? Am I missing something? Punk's is regular match.
Punk's is regular
match. It's an in-the-ring match.
So far, it's only no DQ.
An in-the-ring match.
Everything else is an in-the-ring match.
Yeah,
Brad Maddox has taken control of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Where has he been lately?
On WWE.com.
And your dreams. Should I have not said that around your mom? Should I have not said that with your mom here?
Do you know that she's a big fan of Brad Maddox?
I know a lot more than you want me to.
Uh-oh.
What?
Does mom have some dirt?
I don't think she knows anything.
Well, what are they saying on the chat roll?
We can hold off on the rest of the show. Let's talk about
They're still talking about Triple H. Although I did tell her earlier today that I have a short attention span and I haven't seen him in a while. So
he hasn't been on TV in a while.
I know. We go to commercial, changing the subject. Come back with the bench press challenge between Mark Henry and Ryback. This is something that the people have been wanting and we have been wanting for a very long time now. See who the strongest man really is.
I was trying to look up and see if this was legit or not.
Well,
Me too.
Well, here's the thing. If it would have been on ESPN.com, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't. I think it has to be, for the record, it has to be collared too. They weren't collared. The weights weren't collared.
I have no idea.
How much was on there?
That was
weight-wise?
It was 225. It was a legitimate 225.
It was a two. Yeah, that was my question: were those legitimate weights? Or not?
The way they were designed, you had two 45-pound weights on each side, and the bar is normally 45.
Yeah, it was a 225-pound lift. What that is I actually looked up. It's the NFL Combine.
It's one of the things they test the rookies on.
Yeah. So when you go, if you're going to try to get into the NFL draft and you're a college senior or whatever, you go to this combine. I'm sure you know about that. And they do this how many times you can bench 225.
Yeah.
And the record was 51.
51 is what they said.
It was. I looked that up. It was 51 and 99.
Okay. Lions fan in the chat room also said he looked up to see if the record was legit and he couldn't find anything. So we weren't the only ones.
Yeah. it took a little bit of searching, but I I actually went and found the top 5 NFL combine records, and it was in there. It was 51. Now, someone else may have done it elsewhere at a private gym and have on video. I saw some videos of people saying they did 59 on YouTube. I didn't watch them, but that's the official combine record, and that's the record they were talking about.
Well, they have a Guinness Book of World Records show. They should have that on there.
Oh, yeah.
Have Mark Henry and Ryback as special guests on the show.
Mark Henry sweated like it was like legit.
Well, but all of them, I mean, or all of them, both of them did the first 45 reps with ease.
And Ryback on that last one was pretty easy when he it looked like he was.
He could have kept going.
I question whether it was, but it could have been.
That
I
made me
don't
question
know.
it too, though.
But this area was also where we had the conflict with Teddy and Booker a little bit.
Oh yes, we did.
Because all of a sudden,
I tell you play, I'll say it.
Yeah, because Teddy cut off Booker to introduce Mark Henry.
Yeah,
which is like what? What's going on? I'm confused.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of Teddy as the authority figure, and then as this co-GM or whatever. I'm not a big fan.
Remember, once upon a time, many moons ago, he did manage Mark Henry with Rodney Mack and Jazz.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know. Just a random trivial fact.
He was a manager of Doom back in the day.
In the Ice Train in WCW.
Mm-hmm. Doom was in WCW as well. It was a Butch Reed. I think it was Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Mom, how much can you bench press?
You, perhaps? I don't know.
Good answer.
Let's get a bench out here. Can we get a bench, Marissa?
So, yeah, I don't know. I questioned a lot of things in this bench press challenge.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't know. Doing 53 and then stopping right at 53, it just seemed planned.
I can't do that once. I'm getting close, but I can't do that once yet.
No, not at all.
No.
So Ryback gets up to 53, and on 54, Henry comes out, stops him, and starts choking him with the bar.
And there's no doubt that there was some weight to that, because you could tell the way he was choking, the way the weights fell off, that there was some weight to it. Yeah, there was some weight to it, whether that was actually the amount of weight they said, but yeah, that was a bit of a dangerous stunt there.
Yeah. And I mean, Ryback looked hurt legitimately when they were done with this. I mean, he was probably playing it up, but
I'm sure that's what they're paid to do.
Coughing and wheezing.
That's what they're trained to do.
So they say that Ryback is undergoing medical examination back, while we get a Cena package and a Rock package.
That was okay.
Oh no. Is the match in jeopardy now?
I think he'll be fine.
I'm sure he will be.
You're so optimistic.
So we get into the Dolph Ziggler, AJ versus Daniel Bryan and Caitlyn match, which I thought the mixing of the tag teams was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little tag match.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it was more so focused on Caitlyn and AJ, really, to help build that up more. Because has that match been announced yet? Or no?
No.
Yeah, I
think they've announced.
I think
10
they have.
matches.
They may have announced it. I think they've announced it. Haven't they?
I don't know.
Maybe on Raw.
I think they announced it online or something like
know.
that. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure if it's announced yet.
Someone in the chat will correct us.
Yeah.
Because I know they've already announced 10 matches. I just don't remember if the Divas title match was one of those 10 or not.
I feel like Divas hasn't been officially announced yet. People have speculated, but I don't know if it's for sure yet.
Yeah.
But
I'm not. Are you? I'm not a huge. I'll tell you what. Like this match is okay. I'm not a huge fan of the mixed tags. An intergender tag is okay, but I just don't like the rule like one person tags and the match has to stop and the other person has to I don't like the idea of forced tags. It's okay. I mean, I understand why they do it, but it's never been my favorite type of match.
No, I can.
So this
agree
one
with
was
that.
I was a little bit lukewarm because I just don't like these style of matches. I don't like when somebody has to tag back out.
People on chat are saying that the match should be announced on Raw this week.
Okay, so then
it
we'll
has
have
not been official
We'll have 11 matches.
Yes.
So
That's a lot.
Well, I'm guessing we'll probably have one or
it's a
two of those in
4-hour
the
show,
pre-show.
right?
I'm guessing one or two of those 11 will go on the pre-show.
And it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
So we got more time.
And still nothing for Cesaro.
Oh, that's a shame. That's an absolute shame.
I still like this mixed tag team match. I mean, I always love seeing AJ in the ring. I think she's awesome. And I thought it was kind of weird, though, that they had a match so similar to what is potentially at WrestleMania.
They always do that type of stuff. They'll take 2 matches and put them together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird. I'm not a huge fan of it personally, but yeah, they do it. They always do that leading up to pay-per-views.
Yeah. People are saying that they want to see Caitlyn versus Tamina Snuka.
Again?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're saying like the Tamina versus...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
That makes more sense.
I was like, huh?
Sorry, I'm like trying to read chat roll and read my notes at the same time.
Yeah, I'd like to see Naomi up, if anybody.
I would like to see Naomi
Yeah,
wrestle.
I'd like to see some Naomi action.
I'm really thinking after Mania we'll start seeing a lot more of her wrestling, which is good.
It'll be interesting to see how they use the divas in WrestleMania.
I'd like to see
Whether the
Oksana
Bellas are
actually
gonna-
doing some more one-on-one stuff. I think Oksana's going to be really good.
I
I've
wish
always
that
said
they
I
would
think she's
use
getting really good.
Natalia in a different way.
Oh, Natalia. Oh,
You know,
Out of all the
we could do a
divas.
whole show about that.
I don't know if you've seen this past NXT. It was like all like WWE people on NXT this week for some odd reason, but like it started with Natalia versus Caitlyn in like a 15-minute match.
Yeah.
And it was solid. It was definitely solid. And obviously, yeah, Natalia's just awesome.
Natalia's amazing, and Caitlyn's is good enough to be led into a really awesome match.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I mean, I'm glad that they're finally building up the divas division again. I think
It needs it.
It's
desperately.
much needed.
It's
for sure.
It's weak right now.
Yeah.
And it's not that. I mean, there's a lot of. I think there's some talent. It's just very young. Like I think just because they're so shallow in the talent department that there's a lot of girls on TV right now that aren't ready to be on TV.
Like who?
I mean, I think Caitlyn's not ready for television.
Really?
Yeah, her in-ring skills, I don't think she's ready for television.
I don't know if she's.
And I'm talking from an old school perspective. I'm not talking about from what they do today. But back in the day, you had 10, 15 years you had to have under your belt before you would ever be thought to be put on television. And she's just, 4 or 5 years? It's really hard to learn that in that amount of time and really fully understand it. So it's just the times. But in my opinion, Layla and Natalia are really the only two off the top of my head that are really seasoned. Can you think of anyone else?
Layla and Natalia. I mean, I agree with those. I'm trying to think of the divas off the top of my head.
Like Naomi's great and it's coming up, but she's still young and like technically, like if you were talking the 80s or 90s, I don't think Naomi would be ready for television either, as far as her in-ring work goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a different day, and
I think AJ is a very underrated
divas
wrestler. But like you said, I mean, it's only been a few years for her too, I believe.
She's good though. She's got a lot of potential, I think. And I mean, I think they're all great, but I mean, I think those girls definitely. I don't know how often they train. They're on the road all the time, so it's hard. To have classes.
Do you think Cathy could become a future Divas champion?
I don't know. I think she needs to work on her upper body strength.
That's what I say all the time. So there was a lot of distraction in this match from, Big E distracting, Kane distracting, AJ when she wasn't in the ring, she was distracting. And I thought it was kind of interesting. It was a shorter match, but it worked out. And AJ attacks Brian at one point, which...
Yeah. Just jumped on his back.
Yeah. But overall, I mean...
The spear looked good.
What?
Caitlin's spear.
Oh, yeah.
Looked good.
So Caitlyn ended up winning at the end.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
I can't hear anything.
Oh.
You breaking stuff? Come on.
She can't hear anything.
Sitting here and all of a sudden my ears are gone.
Are they back?
Nope.
Oh.
We'll speak
we can
very
hear you.
loudly.
We hear you fine.
What'd you say?
So hang in there with us, okay?
I can handle it.
Okay.
I'm mature.
So Caitlyn ends up winning that match, and we go into a Shield promo. Ambrose runs, Reigns.
Ambrose just woke up.
Yeah, it's a great promo.
His hair was everywhere. I loved it.
We've been
Very
missing
cool.
these lately.
Yeah, and it wasn't exactly their type of cut-up promo. It was more just they grabbed the camera live promo, but it was all. Their promos are always great.
Yeah. They say that Sheamus, Big Show, and Orton won't come together by WrestleMania, and they won't be able to pull out the win.
Nope.
and believe in the Shield.
I believe in the Shield.
You believe in the Shield?
Believe in the Shield.
I feel like they're more united.
I agree.
I believe that they're more united.
They're united we haven't seen three guys united.
Ever?
Maybe not ever, but a long time.
In a very long time.
I mean, the Horsemen are always, the original Horsemen are always really united. I mean, that was one of the awesome things about the Horsemen. They were this group that were together for a long time, and they had each other's backs. But, well, I guess it depends what version of the Horsemen you're talking about.
As far as WWE wise, I'd say the most united faction since DX, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't think of one since Evolution, definitely not.
Or Evolution, yeah.
What are you laughing at over there?
The fact that I can hear you guys again.
Oh, awesome. We're back.
And we're back. So let's get into the Swagger versus Khali match.
I think we need to rush through this. We don't have much time.
I know, we
only
don't
got a few
have
minutes
much
left.
We only
time.
have a few minutes.
And we
so
got questions to ask your mom.
Yeah. So let's get.
We can cut that short if need be. So
Do
the
that through
Swagger
Twitter.
versus Khali match. Khali, Hornswoggle, and Natalya made their way into the ring, and then Swagger and Zeb Coulter walk up to the ring, and they say that Khali is the type of voice that you hear at the other end of service calls.
That was funny.
That was
I've
one of the
dealt
best
with
things
that
Zeb has said in a long time.
Yeah, I think we all have felt that frustration before.
I'm not a huge fan of Swagger, but I love the pairings that they have him in. So that's all.
I like Swagger better than I've ever liked him before.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've always kind of been hard on him, but so I'm liking him better. I like this character.
I want him by himself.
But you
don't like Zeb?
No, I like Zeb.
Well, I
I
like the Zeb character, but it's just the fact that this is Swagger. Technically, if you count that Eagle that he came out with for a few weeks, his fourth manager that he's had.
I think he needs Zeb.
it. He needs Zeb. I think this is a good one for him. I think it works. They finally got. I think he's got a decent gimmick for him.
I think they're really trying to push the We the People thing, and I don't know how well that's working.
I agree.
So getting into the match, they say that they broke Ricardo's ankle to bind a country.
Broke a bone to bind a country.
Broke a bone to bind a
We get what you're saying.
Yeah. So Swagger ends up pulling the Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act.
Yeah.
On Khali outside the ring, and there's a double count out.
He's just inflicting punishment. He didn't care about the win.
That was really weird to me.
This was a way to protect both guys. What that was. That was so because you don't want Khali to lose because he's a giant, so you don't want to kill him on that. But you can't have Swagger lose to Khali because he's going into a world title match.
I mean, it's more believable to see Khali lose.
Yeah, this is 100% was protecting both guys. It was I was okay with it.
Yeah, but it may be believable to see Khali lose, but it's very rare to see a big man's tap out.
Yeah.
I felt like Swagger should have just run back in there during the last second or so, and won the match.
Yeah,
I mean, it could have worked.
Yeah, I mean, it could have worked, but I think it was more that he had the leg and he wanted to give the punishment, and and then we had
Del Rio comes out after the match is over.
After Ricardo came out first on the
Ricardo
mic,
comes
and
out.
was kind of boring, honestly, on the mic a little bit.
Yeah. Del Rio comes out, attacks Swagger from behind. Coulter steps in and takes out Del Rio, and then Ricardo Rodriguez hits Coulter with his crutch. I like that. And Swagger and Coulter retreat.
Yes.
Ending this segment. We go to commercial, come back with the announcers talking about the Punk versus Undertaker match in WrestleMania 29. Cole tosses to backstage with Renee Young.
Brought her up from NXT.
Okay,
You
I
like
gotta
her?
say, no.
What?
I thought she was terrible. Did you think she was good?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I just brought her up from NXT. That's all I said.
Yeah. You know what? I watched this, and you know what my thought was? We need Cathy Kelley in the backstage as an interviewer. That's what my thought was.
Honestly,
She's got a lot of experience in TV, though, in Canadian TV.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like
honestly,
it.
my thought is I'm worried about Matt Striker because I love Striker
Why would you be worried about him?
because that's his spot, the backstage announcer for SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't think this girl's
I don't
very
think.
good.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna take his
No, I don't know.
position anytime soon.
I'm not a fan.
I still liked her.
I wasn't a fan. I thought she was.
I thought she was really cute.
It was
sweet.
her first time on TV, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And they actually, I think they hired her back in October.
Yeah,
So,
they hired her a while ago.
Yeah.
She's been in NXT. Yeah, I was not impressed.
Well,
But I mean, there's been girls that have not been good and become very good on that. You see it all the time. So who knows?
yeah. So she interviews Sheamus, Big Show, and Orton, asking them if they can come together by WrestleMania. And, of course, Sheamus and Show argue.
I thought the show was kind of funny on that.
It's like, I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
They were both arguing. I loved how they're arguing for the same thing. They're like, I didn't have a problem with you. Well, I didn't have a problem with you.
I love the Big
I didn't
Show.
have a problem with you first.
And this is how Kane and Daniel Bryan started.
I know.
Yeah. Big Show's amazing just all the time. That's so good.
So, Orton is actually the moderator in all of this, which seems kind of out of place,
Very.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I liked it nonetheless.
Yeah. I mean, the Orton was just kind of squeezed in there. You know, this bit was about Big Show and Sheamus. It was funny. I enjoyed it. I actually really liked it.
Yeah. So we go to commercial, and when we come back, it's announced that Arnold Schwarzenegger will induct Bruno Sammartino into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome.
I think it's fantastic.
I think that's an amazing.
Yeah.
The inductors are really so far really good this year.
Speaking of another
I would
inductor,
say that was announced.
our boss lady, Maria Menounos herself, was announced as the inductor for Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I'm
Excited to
really
see
excited.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Hopefully, at some point, we'll get a call in from her to talk about
yeah.
that. Well,
I have to
hopefully.
bug her about that.
We're working on it.
At a WrestleMania after party.
Yeah, we've planted a bug already, so we're working on it.
So let's get into Sheamus, Big Show, and Orton versus Rhodes Scholars and Cesaro.
I loved the pairing of the Rhodes Scholars and Cesaro.
Yeah,
I
right?
loved their promo in the beginning, and I missed. Was it Wednesday? They were saying that the yodeling thing came out for the first time.
And main event.
Was it main event?
Yes, and
I missed main event this week.
I despise the yodeling.
So that's awesome. That's right there. I mean, it's heat. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it's supposed to be.
I'm
You're
just
supposed to hate
I
it.
didn't understand it
You're
at
supposed to
all.
hate it.
I agree with that.
You're
I'm just
you're
afraid they're going to
supposed to
turn
hate
him
it.
into a comedic character from it. That's what I'm afraid of.
Okay, yeah, I hope they
That's what I'm
don't. I
afraid
hope
of.
he's still a killer that yodels.
Right. If that's the case, then I can survive with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're still a killer, you can be goofy, but you still be scary. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're scary and
Can you
as long
yodel?
as he's.
No.
Oh, come on.
Don't even make her try.
I'm trying to get her involved. Come on.
I can make other sounds, but not that one. Well,
This
We'll
She
say-
does a pretty
this
good
is what I'm
lawnmower
required to
impression, but I'm not
ask.
gonna. Yeah, I would have to crawl under a rock and hide there for a few weeks.
I promise not to do the
Embarrass
lawnmower.
me too much.
So this was definitely the best match of the night.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I mean, wasn't
as far as
tough
the
because there
match,
wasn't
easily,
a lot of matches, but all these guys are pros, and this was great. I enjoyed this.
Most interesting match, I think longest match of the night too.
Oh, yeah.
As it should have been.
Yep.
And Sheamus ends up winning it with a brogue kick.
The camaraderie at the end.
Everyone, come on, tend to
Everyone
cheer
in the
them on.
ring, yeah.
Everyone hitting their finishers and helping each other out. It was good. It was the
A good
finishers were
happy
well
end.
Showed that they
into a
can
show.
pull together.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that WWE is really good on, I think, even if matches aren't always great, they're always good with finishes. Their finishes are always usually pretty clever and pretty good.
Yeah.
So even if you have a crappy match, a lot of time you're still going to have a decent finish on television. Something that's clever.
So after the match, Shield's music hits, and they are walking through the crowd. But Sheamus, Orton, and Big Show don't let them even get to the ring.
I like this.
They
I
go
I
after
didn't like
him.
this.
You didn't
I
like
liked
it?
it.
I liked it, and I didn't like the fact that they got beat up.
Well, I didn't like the fact that they were treated, but I like the fact that
don't-
this was something that no one else has done yet.
I liked that, but I think the Shield needed to at least be on even terms on this. They shouldn't have gotten punked out and beaten up because they've already now the last 2 shows, I think, kind of they've been this unstoppable force beating everybody, and these guys have figured a little bit something out. They haven't gotten over on them, they haven't beaten them down, so the Shield hasn't been beaten up, but they've figured a crack in there, and now they beat them up. I mean, you just killed the Shield.
Yeah.
So that's my major problem. You just killed the Shield. Hopefully, once they did that once before and kind of swept it under the rug. Hopefully, they'll do that again. But yeah, that was my biggest problem. The Shield should have at least stood toe to toe with these guys.
Yeah.
Leading into Mania. Now, so it was the baby faces standing over the Shield, and now the Shield's not scary anymore.
Well, overall, thought this was a good build-up for WrestleMania.
Yeah, not
At
my
the point we
favorite.
were 9 days away, now we're 7.
7 from today, 1 week away.
Crazy.
Yeah, but
Crazy.
my thought, just overall, the lead up to WrestleMania through all the
Hasn't been
shows
that
has
good?
not been that good.
I agree.
It's been less than stellar. It's not the greatest show on paper, which sometimes can deliver. I mean, it could absolutely deliver and be a amazing WrestleMania. I think some of the matches are really interesting, so I think we could have some great sleeper matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned on main event. I really think Miz and Barrett has the potential of being a real show stealer if they give it the time.
Is that officially
I feel like that
announced?
might be a...
Yes,
Okay.
that one has been officially announced.
And I'll tell you, you know what actually could be a very good match? I'll tell you, Fandango and Jericho.
I agree.
I am
'cause
telling you,
I'm excited
Jericho,
for that.
because Jericho's so amazing.
Jericho will
and-
make everyone look good.
Absolutely, and Jericho's going to be at in WrestleMania mode. He's going to have an amazing match put together, and as long as he listens to Jericho, I think that could be a sleeper match.
I think since everyone hates the card so much, it's going to be better than everyone's expecting WrestleMania.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
still looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah, everyone's
it's going
looking
to be
forward
it's
to
going to be
it.
great.
Yeah.
So let's get into our special segment of the night. We only have a few
We got
minutes left.
like 2
Yeah.
minutes, so
Do
let's
we
get a
actually
couple
have
Very
quick
quickly.
questions.
These better
Wrap it
be
up.
good questions.
Okay, well, let's do 2 questions.
Okay.
2
What do you guys
questions.
have? One
Oh,
from
I got
each.
nothing.
Oh,
I got nothing. I'll give Christian too.
oh, geez.
You can have them both.
What was here's a random question. Random question. What did she first tell you when she was little and what she wanted to be when she grew up?
Well, that's on her website.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
I know.
A killer.
I
Marissa knows. Take it back.
Mom just totally no-sold you.
Jeez. Well, I haven't viewed her website.
Marissa,
Sorry.
tell us the answer.
Is it babysitter?
A babysitter or a killer whale trainer?
Yes.
Oh, wow. A killer whale trainer.
Yes.
Wow.
She got to check out Shamu.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. I saw Ultimo Shamu last night. At the LA Wrestling
wrestler.
show.
That's a
Yeah, it's a
wrestler.
local wrestler.
Yeah, killer whale trainer or babysitter. And then from very early on, I wanted to do hosting. So
Oh, well, how about
Oh,
that?
look at you.
Well, you were a rock star playing bass guitar at one
I
point.
tried to do the whole rock star thing, and it didn't work out very well. I was about as good as 3MB.
Now,
Oh.
So
now, where have they
air
been?
guitar.
I don't know. There needs to be more 3MB.
Now, I hope this isn't on our website either. Let's think. What was she afraid of when she was a kid?
Bugs.
Any specific ones?
All of them.
All of them, things with lots of legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spiders.
There's nothing. Well, you're not looking in the chat. I'm sure someone in the chat's
Yeah,
got more creative
I've gotten no
questions than me.
tweets, so.
They just said time to embarrass Kathy. So
All right, yeah.
Well, tell us an embarrassing story about Kathy's, and we'll wrap it up with that.
Well,
I have to drive you to the airport after
she,
this.
she has to drive to the
Don't make it too bad.
So I think part of this is, do I want Kathy to take care of me when I get old? And how embarrassing can I really be?
You can.
And like
we
a
have to wrap
PG
it up,
embarrassing
so-
story to wrap
Yeah.
it up.
We're getting the.
Well, maybe
looks from the
maybe
booth.
people can tweet me their
Tweet
questions.
you. What is your Twitter?
How can
My-
they tweet you?
They can tweet me at what is it, Kovacs_Liz?
I don't know.
Underscore?
Something like that.
Underscore Liz?
Underscore.
Kathy will put it on her Twitter,
Yeah,
so
I'll
just
put it
follow
on my
Kathy
Twitter.
and you'll get a bunch of Twitter.
You can follow me at Catherine Kelly. Where can they?
You can follow
guys?
me at Cluminator.
Anything
on
else to plug?
Twitter. And obviously our AfterBuzz WrestleMania, I'm sure you will talk about that.
Yes.
And then the following week, April 13th, I will be in Simi Valley, California for Millennium Pro Wrestling 7 o'clock bell time, Simi Valley Boys and Girls Club.
Follow me at CRosieVOC. You'll talk about, like you said, WrestleMania After
Yes.
Party. April 26th, Insane Wrestling League. You can watch it live on iPay-per-view at theiwl.com.
So as the guys mentioned, we have an amazing WrestleMania live event coming to you from the John Lovitz Comedy Club Sunday, April 7th.
April 7th.
Forgot what month it was for a second, but it is Sunday, April 7th. Doors open at 3 p.m. We will all be tweeting out the links. There's also a Facebook event page that you can check out. Tickets are $10, 2 at a minimum, and it should be a really fun time. We will be screening WrestleMania and then have a 2-hour commentary after show following it.
We have some celebrities coming,
Yes.
right? Do we have anyone we can announce?
I don't know.
Jesse Heyman. We
Jesse
can announce,
Heyman.
Right?
We might have some former WWEers there, but check our Twitters for the full list of people
Yeah.
coming to our event.
We're going to be there. Who else do you need, right? Yeah. And Cathy Kelley's going to be there.
Yeah, you can come and get your pictures with us, eat some good food, drink some drinks, and of course watch WrestleMania. So I think we are getting the cue to
they've been wrapping us up.
Yeah, they don't want to hear any embarrassing stories.
Next time.
Good news for me. Until next week, thanks
Complained
so
about
much
The
for
Rock too
watching.
much.
We'll see you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.